Hello everyone, welcome back to Success Spectrum Academy. I am Krishna Mohan and in today's video we are going to learn about very important topic that is from class 10 ICSE Mathematics Goods and Services Tax, right? Commonly known as GST. So GST is not a chapter in your textbook, right? Yes, no, it is a concept, right? Yes, no, but it is a concept we can say that has revolutionized India's tax system, right? Yes, no. So it was implemented in 1st July 2017, right? Yes, no, it was implemented in 1st July 2017 by BJP governments, right? Yes, no, that Indian governments, okay, we can say. So it revolutionized the India's tax system. So understanding GST will not only help you in exam, okay, but also give you the practical knowledge for real life application, right? Yes, no, so understanding GST will not help you only in exam. Remember this, okay, but also give you the practical knowledge for real life application. So make sure to watch this video till the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel Success Spectrum Academy for more educational content. Understood? See, now we'll start what is GST, right? Yes or no? So here I can say this, we'll start, okay, what is GST, okay? So here we know that GST stand for goods and services tax, right? Yes or no? So what it is? Goods and services tax. It is just a tax, means we can say that is all over India, means accepted, right? Yes or no? So it is all over India accepted, right? Yes or no? So means we can say it is a unified, right? Yes or no? Here I can say this, it is a unified, okay, tax imposed on the supply of goods and services. Okay. So it is implemented, right? Yes, no, means it is implemented on, that is 2017, right? Yes, no, 1st of July of 2017, right? Yes, no, and what it replaced? So GST replaced all other taxes, right? Yes, no, so GST replaced multiple, we can say here, multiple indirect taxes, right? Yes, no, indirect tax, we can say, right? Yes, no, or indirect taxes here, okay, like VAT, right? It's no value added tax, or we can say service tax, or we can say here, okay, like excise duty and many more others, right? Yes, no, etc. We can say, right? Yes, no. So what is key feature of GST? So here I can say this. Next here we'll write the key feature of GST, right? So it comes under, means like one nation, one tax system, right? Yes, no. So it comes under one nation, one tax system, right? Yes, no. So here means we can say a single tax applicable throughout India, right? So a buyer or seller, right? Yes, no, they are paying the multiple taxes, right? Yes, no, throughout the India, means there are multiple taxes, like means central government taking the tax, state governments are taking other tax, right? Yes, no, so they have to pay, means multiple taxes. So that is means what comes under, means one nation one tax. So when GST implemented, so it comes under one nation one tax, means we need to pay a single tax applicable throughout the India, we can say, right? Yes, no, so throughout the India we can say a single tax is applicable. So what are the types of GST? See the next topic here. So types of GST means CGST. So what is full form of this? So this means here we can say central, right? Yes, no, means here it is central goods and services, right? So here central goods and services tax means here central government is taking the tax. Then SGST, right? Yes, no. So here state means here state government is involved. So state goods and services tax, right? And third will be what? IGST, right? Yes, no. So IGST means here integrated goods and services tax. Okay, so it will be integrated goods and services tax. Okay, so now what are the tax slab we have? Okay, see, so tax slabs, so GST rates are categorized, right? Yes, no, means here GST rates are categorized in different ways, right? Yes, no, so here we can write, okay, GST rates are categorized, okay, into 0 percentage, and then 5 percentage, and then here 12 percentage, and some of them are of 18 percentage and 28%. So maximum GST that can be taken by the government is 28%, right? Yes or no? Okay, so now we'll move for the next topic here, right? Yes or no? So what is the next part we have? So we can see the formula, right? So what are the formula and basics, right? Yes, no, means here you can see this formula and basics of GST calculation. Okay, see, so now, so we can say let's now focus on what the most important part. Okay, so we'll focus on the most important part. Okay, how to calculate GST. Okay, so how we can calculate GST? Okay, so there will be some formula, right? Yes or no? We need to know what are the concept behind this, how we can calculate the GST. Okay, so GST means here we can write this is equal to what? GST equal to tax rate into cost price, right? So tax rate into cost price, and it should be divided by 100, right? Yes, no. So whatever tax rate is there, site like means we have, right? Yes, no, different rates are categorized like 0%. So it is 0%. So if we multiply with 0, it will be what? 0 only. 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. So here, okay, tax rate will be multiplied with cost price and it should be divided by 100, then we can calculate what? GST, right? Yes or no? So here we can calculate GST by the help of this, right? Yes or no? So now what will be the total selling price? So this was the first formula. Now second, how we can calculate total selling price. So total selling price will be what? Equal to cost price into, or cost price, sorry, here it will be plus, so cost price plus GST amount, right? Yes or no? So how the price will be means fixed, right? Yes no, for a product, so total selling price, right? Yes no, so cost price, so whatever cost we are giving, right? Yes no, to the seller and we are purchasing, And if we need to further sell it, right, yes no, so we need to include both, that is the cost price plus GST amount will be added. That will be the total selling price for a product. So any products, like means we can sell an umbrella, right, yes no, so an umbrella means that is cost price is 100 rupees given, and GST amount is taken, means here you can say this 12%. So 112 will be the total selling price, right, yes no, so total selling price will be detected from cost price and GST amount, right, yes no. Then third, so GST, right, yes no, is applied. So here we can write GST is applied, okay, in two parts. So what are those two parts, means we can say, so half of the GST, means here I can say this half to the central government, right, yes or no. So here I can say this half to the central government, okay, that is CGST, and half to the state government, right. So here I can say this, both the taxes, means here, okay, so if the government is providing us a good road, right, yes no, the school facility, the educations, and the different means things like means military, right, yes no, equipments are there, okay, so government are providing the facility to their, what you can say, the means public, right, yes no, public of India. So they are taking the tax from the public, right, yes no, so half of the tax is divided to the central government, whatever tax will be there, and half to the state government, right, yes no. So half tax will be taken by central government and half of the tax will be taken by state government. So state government means here you can see this SGST, right, yes no. So these are the two tax we have to pay, right, yes no. So one is to the central government and other is to, means we can say, what, state government, right. See, now we'll see Indian government will levy two type of taxes, right, yes no. So here I can say this Indian government has levied two type of taxes. So what are those two type of taxes? One is direct tax, another one will be indirect tax, right, yes no. So here you can say this Indian government has levied two type of tax, right. So one is direct tax, right, yes no. So here I can see this, you will write it as direct tax or direct taxes. Another one is indirect tax. So these are the taxes paid by the individual, right, yes no. So individual or an organization directly to the government, right, yes no. So here means any taxes, right, yes no, in the annual, right, yes no, if I'm earning something I have to pay the tax, right, yes no. Direct tax means what, that is ITR, income tax return filing we are doing, right, yes no. So means here direct tax we need to pay to the government, so that is direct tax we can say. So these are the taxes paid by individual or an organization directly to the government. These include income tax, right, yes no. Income tax means whatever, means if you are getting a salary you need to pay the income tax for that. If you are earning some amount from something, right, yes no, doing the business and all, you need to file the ITR, right, yes no. Or wealth tax, right, yes no, corporate tax or capital gain tax. So these taxes we need to pay, that is direct tax to the government. Indirect tax, so these are the taxes on goods and services. So here I can say this goods and services means if you are going to market and you purchase a salt, right, yes no. In the salt, if it is 10 rupees, in that means some percentage are given to the state government and some percentage is given to the central government, that is indirect tax. So these are the taxes on goods and services paid by the customer, collected by individuals. So here means customer, right, and that customer goes to a shop here, right, yes no. So that shopkeeper will collect the money from the customer, right, yes no, means he's selling something to customers, okay. So like means we can say 1 kg salt, right, yes no. So if he is selling the salt, right, yes no, and that salt cost is 20 rupees, right, yes no. So here salt cost is 20 rupees. So he's taking the 20 rupees from the customer, but now the shopkeeper, here I can see this individual or organization. So the shopkeeper having the organization is attached, okay. So means here means those they are filing the GST and all, right? Yes, no. Suppose means, or this shopkeeper will purchase something from that is vendor, right? Yes, no. So here I can see this, or an organization or deposited with government, right? Yes, no, means here. So the shopkeeper will give this 20 rupees, means here they will, means the shopkeeper will take their percentage and they will give to the, suppose 18 rupees to the vendor here, right? Yes, no, means that is, means we can say the company, we can say, right? Yes, no, that's all, the company also we can say. So this company will collect all the money, and this company will pay the GST to the government, right? Yes, no. So here this company will pay the GST to government, we can say, right? Yes, no. So earlier there were a number of indirect taxes levied by central and state governments. Now here you can see this company is paying one GST, right? Yes, no. So this, now this money is divided into two parts, that is for state government and central government, right? Yes, no. Earlier it was different taxes, right? Yes, no, levied by the central and state government, such as excise duty, right? Yes, no. So excise duty was taken, right? Yes, no. Customs duty, service tax, state will value added services or value added tax, right? Yes, no. Central sales tax, okay, luxury tax, entertainment tax, etc., taken by the government. So with the implementation of GST, a large number of these central and state indirect taxes have been merged into a single tax. Now we are seeing there are two taxes: direct tax, what an individual person paying to the government; other is indirect tax, what the company, or we can say the individual organizations, we can say individual or an organization are paying to the government in the form of what? Goods and services tax, we can say. So customer is purchasing the something, means from the shopkeeper, and that shopkeeper is purchasing that something from company, and now company is paying GST to the government, and that GST will be divided into two parts. For the state government will be different and the central government, right? Yes, no. Now the company need not have to bother for the paying value added taxes, right? Yes, no. To the central government different tax, to the state government different tax, right? So now it is submerged into one category, that is, we can say, goods and services tax. Understood? See, now we'll see the characteristics of goods and services tax, right? Yes or no? So here I can see this. What is GST? As I told you, right? Yes or no? GST is, that is abbreviations, right? Yes or no? Of goods and service tax is a comprehensive indirect tax, right? Yes or no? We studied about direct tax and indirect tax, right? Yes or no? So GST comes under indirect tax for whole nation, right? Yes or no? So it is implemented in India, right? Yes or no? So means we can say it is for whole nation, right? Yes, no, for our country, that is India, we have, right? Yes, no. It makes India one unified common market, right? Yes, no. So as I told you that BJP government implemented this in the 1st July 2017. So it comes under one nation, one tax system, right? Yes, no. So taxes not submerged, here I can say this, or submerged under GST, that is basic custom duty on imports of goods into India, right? Yes, no, if anything is imported to good, means imported to India, okay, we need to pay the customs duty. Road tax, right? Yes, no, so if you are going somewhere, right? Yes, no, from, suppose you are moving from Mumbai to Pune, right? Yes, no, so in between that you need to pay the toll tax, that is road tax, we can say. Stamp duty or sale of property, right? Yes, no, so if you are purchasing a house, for that means you have to do the stamp duty, means you have to pay the stamp duty. Sometime means that the house owner is paying, means that is, means we can say that builder is paying that stamp duty, or that is sale of property, means here it is stamp duty on sale of property. So if any property, means you are purchasing a land, or if you are purchasing a house, right? Is no, for that you have to pay the stamp duty fees. Then property tax, right? Is no, so for property, means if you have 5 acre or 2 acre or 3 acre or something, right? Is no, for that means you have to pay, or if you have a property, means that for that also you have to pay the taxes. Toll tax, okay, so it comes under road tax only. So entertainment taxes, okay, that is different. Electricity duty, right? Yes, no, excise on liquor, right? Liquor means alcohols, we can say. And taxes on petroleum as well, right? Yes, no, for petrol and diesel. That's why Indian government means can't control on the price of this price and of what? Petrol and diesel. So taxes on petroleum means here state government is taking different tax and central government is taking different tax. So that's why petrol and diesel cost is high in India. So only a person or an organization registered under GST is authorized to charge and collect GST on the sale and transfer of goods services. So now so you have to do the registration first. If you are running an organization, so you have to register under the GST, right? Yes, no. Then you can means collect the amount from the different person, right? Yes, no, means different customers, right? Yes, no. So they will pay the amount, then you can collect that amount and you can means submit it to the government, right? Yes, no. So you have to comes under the registration of what? GST. So registration under GST means here you can see this any individual, right? Yes, no, any individual organization having an annual turnover, right? Yes, no, or more than means we can say 20 lakhs, okay, and 10 lakhs in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand, right? Yes, no. So means here other state means 20 lakhs, but in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, right, yes, no, Mizoram, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand, they need means here it is, they will collect from 10 lakhs only, right? Yes, no, is to be registered under GST. So if you are earning, okay, that is more than 20 lakhs, right? Yes, no, so you have to register for GST, right? Yes, no, but in some states like yes, no, that is exceptions we can say. So under 10 lakh means more, sorry, more than 10 lakhs also you have to register for GST. So GST is value added tax, right? Yes, no, so previously VAT, right? Yes, no, that is value added taxes was there, okay, that is means we can say redefined or reconstructed in the form of what? GST. So for any individual or organization, say X here, okay, the GST paid on purchase is called input GST, right? Yes, no. See the words here, okay, that is input GST, right? Yes, no. So here the organization say X, the GST paid on purchase is called input GST, and the GST collection on sales of goods is called the output GST, right? Yes, no. So everything means there will be an input and output, right? Yes, no. So input GST here, okay, and output GST here, right? So input GST means collected by the individual, right? Yes, no, or organization, and output GST means GST collection on the sales of goods, right? Yes, no, is called means GST paid on purchase. So if we are purchasing something, right? Yes, no, we need to pay the amount. In that amount, percentage of GST will be there. That also we need to pay, right? Yes, no. So that individual or organization X means here you can see this GST paid on purchase is called input GST. Okay, so he's purchasing something, so he need to pay the input GST. Now he's selling that same thing, right? Yes or no? So now he's collecting the GST, right? Yes or no? So goods is called output GST. So the input GST is set off against the claim, right? Yes or no, of output GST, and the difference between the two is payable in the government account, right? Yes or no? So the difference between two is payable in the government account, right? Yes or no? So thus for the individual organization between the two, means here I can say this, thus means we can say output GST and the difference between the two payable in the government account. Thus the individual organization X GST is levied on the incremental value of the goods and services supplied by him, right? Yes or no? So here it will levied means we can say services he is supplying to the customer, right? Yes or no? Understood. See, now we'll see supply of goods and services, right? Yes or no? So here I can say this local, right? Yes or no, means interstate we can say, right? Yes or no? So it will be interstate, okay? Means suppose means here within means here I can say this Maharashtra, right? Yes or no? So if something means we are purchasing and selling in the state only, right? Yes or no? Within the state we can say we are not crossing the boundary of Maharashtra, okay? Then that will be local or interstate. So interstate means GST will be divided into two parts. One is central GST, another one will be SGST or UGST, right? Yes or no? So here I can say the state means here I can just GST will be there. So half of the means prescribed GST rate, example, GST rate is 12%, right? Yes or no? So CGST will be what? 6%, right? Yes or no? So total GST rate is 12%. Okay, in that half of the amount is taken by central and half of the amount will be taken by state, right? Yes, no. So here both are means dividing half of the part. So if you are purchasing or selling in the same state within the same state, so there you need to pay CGST and SGST only. Outside the state means here I can say this, okay, so you are purchasing something from Maharashtra and you want to sell it in Gujarat, right? Yes, no, or in other state, right? Yes, no. So it is known as interstate. So here you can see this. So interstate means export and import within the states, we can say. So it is happening in this means what? The country India, right? Yes, no, means here export and import within the state. Okay, so there you need to pay IGST, right? Yes or no? So here you can see the CGST, SGST. So here you need to pay IGST, that is integrated goods and service taxes. So the prescribed GST rate is, means here you can say this, that is GST rate is what, 12%. Then you need to pay IGST, means here you don't have to pay means what, CGST and SGST, right? Yes, no. Here you have to pay IGST, that is integrated part. In that means further they will divide it, okay, and they will, okay, means take their different percentage, that central and state. But here that purchasing means someone is purchasing, that buyer and seller, they don't have to bother about many taxes here. They need to pay one tax, that is IGST. Understood? Now here you can see this reverse charge mechanism. So till now we have studied that suppliers of goods and services, right? Yes, no, means registered under GST is responsible for charging and collecting the GST, right? Yes, no. So those they are means what, registered under GST, they need to only collect, right? There's no goods and service taxes, okay. They have to means here can say this means what, registered under GST is responsible for charging and collecting the GST on the supply of depositing it to the government account, right? It's no, means they are only responsible. However, there are cases where chargeability, right, it's no, gets reversed, that is the receivers means recipients of supplies and goods and services become liable to pay the tax and deposit it into the government account. Some of these cases, so here I can say the supplier means here I can say vendor, okay, is not registered under GST. Okay, so means some supplier is not registered under GST while the receiver is registered, right? Yes, no. So here I can see this, that is case is reversed now, right? So supplier is not registered under GST, but the receiver is registered under GST. So if an e-commerce company such as we can say, taking the name here, Amazon or Flipkart, any means company we have, right? Yes, no, runs a business from a country other than India, right? Yes, no. So Amazon is operating from US suppose, right? Yes, no. So now runs a business from the country other than India. So it has to appoint a person or organization registered under GST, right? Yes, no. So that company, US company, have to appoint a person who is registered under GST in India, right? Yes, no. Okay, as an operator in India, right? Yes, no. So that will be the CEO of the company, right? Yes, no. Who will held liable to pay GST. So services, which I can say is provided by government to any business entity such as those, right? Yes, no, of Department of Post, transport of goods, right? Yes, no, service provided by an advocate or law firm, right? Yes, no. So here also means what, that law firm advocate will not pay, right? Yes, no, means in different manner it will be paying. So services provided by author, photographer, artist, or music composer, etc, right? Yes, no. So they are working under a mechanism, right? Yes, no, means we can say they are working under some company, right? Yes, no. So here photographer means that is individual person, so they are working under a company, so that photographer will collect the amount and they will submit it to the company, and that company will be registered under GST. So they will pay on the behalf of that photographer or artist, or we can say author here, right? Yes, no. Publisher, producer means here get to a publisher, producer, or music company, etc, right? Yes, no. So services provided by an insurance agent, okay, to any person who carries on insurance business, that is tax on insurance commission, right? Yes, no. So here I can see this supplier, usual means we can say GST payment, right? Yes, no. So supplier means here I can see this paying means goods services, that is payment, right? Yes, no, means here goods and services to the receiver, right? Yes, no. So receiver giving the payment here, right? Yes, no, means GST to the supplier. Now supplier will give GST means deposited to government account, right? Yes, no. But GST payment under reverse charge mechanism means here I can see this means the supplier is taking the amount, okay, from the receiver, right? Yes, no. and the supplier will pay the amount to government, right? Yes, no, means here I can say the supplier will give goods and services to receiver. Receiver receives the goods and service. Against of that goods and service, okay, he will pay some amount. So payment will do payment plus GST will give to the supplier. So now receiver is not registered under GST, so he'll pay everything to the supplier. So supplier is registered under GST, so he will pay whole amount, means that GST deposited in government account, right? Yes, no, so that GST to the government. Now GST payment under reverse charge mechanism. So how we'll see it? So here I can say the supplier, right? Yes, no, gives the goods and services to receiver. Receiver will give the payment to supplier. But now here I can say this: the supplier is not paying that GST, right? Yes, no, that receiver means directly he is depositing the amount to the government account, right? Yes, no. So this is, we can say, means here that goods and services means given by the supplier to the receiver. Receiver give the payment, okay, means here not whole payment he will do, he will deduct that GST, and that GST will be, okay, paid to the government. Now, understood? So here, okay, supplier means here there are two mechanism, means usual GST payment, right? Yes, no, so supplier is paying to the government. Now it's reverse process, right? Yes, no, in reverse process receiver is paying GST to the government. Understood? See, now I'll take a question to understand this concept, right? Yes, no. So here I can say this: a consumer buy a washing machine from a dealer, right? Yes, no, at a discount of 20%, right? Yes, no. So that is great discount he is getting. A consumer buys a washing machine, right? Yes, no, from a dealer at a discount of 20% on the market price of 25,000, right? Yes, no. In the rate of GST 18%. Now GST is how much? 18%. So calculate the tax that consumer has to pay for the purchase, and second thing, the total amount that the consumer has to pay for the washing machine, right? Yes, no. So it comes under 3 marks, right? Yes, no scheme. So this type of question will be asked in 3 marks system, right? Yes, no. So here I can say this, okay. I'll write the answer here. Consumer buys a washing machine from dealer, okay, of discount. Here it is, how much is getting? 20%, right? Yes, no. On the market price, what is the market price here? 25,000. And what is the GST rate here? 18%, right? Yes, no. So now we'll write here it is market price or marked price, right? Yes, no. So here, okay, so marked price we can say how much it is? 25,000, right? Yes, no. So 25,000, okay. So how much discount is given here? Here it is 20%, right? Yes, no. So discount is given here 20%. So what will be the selling price then? So we'll first calculate the selling price, right? Yes, no. So selling price will be equal to what? That is 25,000, and is giving the discount, right? Yes, no, that is 20%, right? Yes, no, of 25,000. Okay. So here 20% of rupees 25,000, right? Yes, no. Okay, so now what will be the, means here I can say this 25,000, you know how to calculate the percentage, right? Yes or no? So here 25,000, right? Yes, no, so it will be around 5,000 discount will get. So here it will be total, how much it is? Rupees 20,000, right? Yes or no? So here rupees 20,000. Okay, so tax paid by the consumer, right? Yes, now the first thing we need to calculate the tax the consumer has to pay for the purchase, right? Yes, no. So here I can say this: tax paid by the consumer. Okay. So now it is not a tax, it is GST. So we are studying about GST. So how much GST is paying? So rupees, and here you can say how much tax is paying? 18%, right? Yes, no. So 18% of 20,000 rupees, right? Yes, no. So 18% of 20,000 rupees. So here we'll find out the percentage, right? Yes, no. So 20,000 into 18 upon 100, right? Yes, no. So these two cancel. So 200 into 18, so it will be rupees 3600. Understood? So now here you can note down this, right? Yes, no, while solving the problem, right? Yes, no, this is no need to write in the exam, or means while solving the problem, you can write it, right? Yes, no. So here I can say this: the tax is always calculated on selling price, right? Yes, no. So you can ask me the question, right? Yes, no. Why we are means here finding this, right? Yes, no. So if you have any queries, any question regarding this, you can comment on the below, right? Yes, no. So that I can answer you there, right? So the tax is always calculated on selling price, right? Yes, no, not on the actual price or mark price. So mark price was 25,000. Now the dealer is giving that discount, right? Yes, no, that is 20%. So that 20% of that 25,000 will be deducted, right? Yes, no, now the actual selling price is how much? 20,000. So in that 20,000, okay, the consumer need to pay the GST, that is what? 18%. So 3600 rupees he need to pay. So if you need to pay 3600, so total amount paid by the consumer equal to what? The second question's here, answer here. So total amount paid by the consumer equal to what? So selling price and plus GST. In the formula section we discuss about this, right? Yes, no. So how much it is selling price? So here it is, you can see this, that is 20,000 rupees, okay, selling price, and rupees 3600 is paying GST, right? Yes, no. So how much it will be? So it will be around rupees 23600, right? Yes, no, 23600 means 23,600. So this will be the second answer we have. So first answer here, you can say this, that GST we need to calculate, right? Yes, no. So here will be the first answer, and that second answer. So how much GST is paying? 3,600, right? Yes, no. So total tax is always calculated in selling price. Remember this, total amount paid by the consumer. So whatever the selling price is there given by the whom? Dealer, right? Yes, no. So dealer is fixing that, means what? That selling price. So mark price was 25,000. In that he given how much discount? 20% discount. So 25,000 into 20 upon 100 will calculate that, right? Yes, no, will get 5,000. So 5,000 will, he's giving the discount. So now actual selling price equal to how much? 25,000 minus 5,000. So we'll get 20,000 here, right? Yes, no. So in that 20,000 we'll calculate what? GST. So 18% GST will be calculated in that 20,000. So 3,600 will be the GST amount, right? Yes or no? So it will always calculate it on the selling price, right? Yes or no? That tax will be calculated on the selling price. So total amount paid by the consumer equal to what? Whatever the selling price is there, and will add what? That GST, right? Yes or no to that. So 2,000 means 23,600 rupees we need to pay for a washing machine. Understood? So today we'll learn about goods and service taxes, okay, its type and how, okay, to calculate GST with the help of formula and solve. We seen the example as well, right? Yes, no. So if you found this video helpful, okay, don't forget to like, okay, hit the like button, okay, share it with your friends, okay, and subscribe to Success Spectrum Academy for more, okay, educational videos. Also drop your doubts and suggestion in the comment box below, right? Yes or no, that I'll be happy and I'll help you again, okay. So means that many more problem, that is PYQs and MCQs, will becomes under the second part, right? Yes, no, of the GST. So this is the first part I'm releasing, right? Yes, no. So in that you will watch the concept and you'll solve the numericals from your textbook, whatever textbook you are following, okay. So hope you are enjoying this. Understood? Thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you.